All right, we are ready to start Chapter 2, Lesson 1, Decimals and Fractions. Page 89 in your Glencoe book. If you are not there, you're going to want to get there right now. We're going to get started. All right, our objectives today, we are turning those decimals into fractions. All right, let's look at our real world blank. Below they give us musical instruments that students play in the school orchestra. Scoot in a little bit so you can see this better. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit so you can see straight. That's a little better. All right, so we are talking about instruments that students play in the orchestra. And we're looking at brass players. And brass players are 0.25 of the band. So first we need to think about our place value, okay? When we look at 0.25, we don't have a one spot, okay? So over here we have ones, right? And then we have tens, okay? Well, when we go on this side of the decimal, we don't have a one. We go automatically to tenths, and then we go to hundredths with a TH on the end, hundredths. Okay, so if this is hundredths, what word do you see in there that might give you a clue of what we do? 100, right? So when we see hundredth, that means that number is going to be put over 100. Okay, so percussion is 0.15. And if we wanted to write this in word form, we would write 25 hundredths. Okay? If we're looking at 0.15, we would write that as 15 hundredths. And again, what word do you see in here? Hundredth, 15 goes over 100. It looks like our string players take up 0.31 of the orchestra. So we would write that. How would we write 0.31? Same place value as 15 and 25. Good. 31 hundredths. Don't forget that TH. That TH is what lets you know what side of the decimal it's on. And because we can see hundred is part of that word, or in that word, we would write it over 100. All right, our woodwinds are 0.29. 0.29 in word form would be what? Good. 29 hundredths. Again, that TH being the key that's to the right of the decimal. How would we write it? 29 over 100. All right, while you're finishing writing that, let's take a look at our mathematical practices. It's not a whole lot to here to persevere with, reason abstractly, construct an argument. We could say that we're using our mathematical tools and that we're using repeated reasoning. Maybe even make use of structure. I would say those three are our top ones. So 5, 7, and 8. All right, we are going to turn the page to page 90. Okay, if you need to pause at any time, go ahead and do so. Okay. So decimals like 0.25, 0.15, 0.31, and 0.29 can be written as fractions with denominators of 10, 100, or 1,000, and so on. Any number can be written as a fraction is a rational number. Decimals like 3.25, 26.82, 125.54 can be written as mixed numbers in simplest form. So in other words, that would be 3.25 would be 3 wholes and 25 over 100. That's how you would write that as a mixed fraction. 26 and 82 hundredths would be 26 and 82 hundredths, so it's over 100. 125 and 54 hundredths would be 125 and 54 over 100. So if you want to write those as mixed numbers, that's how you would do that. Okay, and then of course you could reduce your fractions. We're not going to worry about that right now. I just want to show you how you could write those. So your whole numbers to the left of the decimal are written as whole numbers, and your decimals are written over 100, or depending on what you have, and we'll see below, might be over 10 or even 1,000. All right, it says write each decimal as a fraction in simplest form, and here it gives us this nice chart that tells us where things are at. Okay, so the place value chart shows us that the place value, the last decimal, is the tenth. You always have to look at the last digit, and we have a 6, and it's only one place, and they put that here on this nice place value chart, and it shows that that is 6/10. And what number do you see in there? 10. So you would just write 6 out of 10, which they did for you, and then they reduced it. They didn't do a very good job at showing you, but what they did was they divided the top and bottom by 2, and that is how they got 3 over 5. Okay, and I know you guys have writing here, and I was just kind of writing over that, but I wanted you to understand how they got, they just kind of replaced numbers here, and I wanted you to understand that they divided the top and the bottom by the same number, and that's how they got there. Okay, 45 over 100, and here they give you again, they give you this nice place value chart, and they just wrote 0.45, where that decimal place at, and since that 5 ends in the hundredths, then it's got to go over 100. And it looks like they reduced by 5, because I know that 5 times 9 is 45, and 5 times 20 is 100. So that's how they got 9/20. They took this, and they divided by 5 on the top and the bottom. And 5 goes into 45 9 times, 5 goes into 100 20 times. So that is how they got here. Just so you don't get confused. Now they give us a bigger one, 0.375. Well, if we put that on our place value chart, you have to go by the last decimal, and that goes into the thousands. We go tenths, TH, hundredths, TH, thousandths, TH. So what do you think it has to go over? Here's that 1,000 written right in there for you. It goes over 1,000. And again, it looks like they reduced it way down. It looks like they reduced it by maybe 75 maybe? No? Looks like, 125 is what they reduced it by. They reduced it by 125, and that's how they got 3/8. Okay, I want you to pause for a moment, try these got it problems on your own. Just think about this place value chart, plug those numbers in, and write it over that number and simplify if you can. I'm going to go over the answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, I have 0.8. Okay, if I think I don't have a 1 spot, so this is going to be tenths. So what am I going to write it over? I'm going to write it over 10. And then I know that both these numbers are even, so I know that I can put 2 into both those numbers. Divide them both, top and bottom, by 2. And my final answer would be 4 over 5. So over on letter A, 4/5. Alright, 0.28 or 28 hundredths, tenths, hundredths. So hundredths means it's got to go over 100. Okay? I can reduce that. I know I can because they're both even numbers. But even better than that, let's see. I know it will go in there twice, but I think it can go in there 4 times. And the only reason I'm saying that is I know that 4 times 7 is 28, And I know that 4 times 25 is 100. Now, if you did dividing by 2, that's okay. You can just divide by 2 and then divide by 2 again. So I went 7/25. So if you divided by 2, you would, I'm going to go up here for a second. 28 over 100 divided by 2, you would have gotten 14 over 50 divided by 2 again, and you would have gotten 7/25. You would have gotten the exact same answer. All right, just a little bit of a longer step. Okay. Make sure you can see all this writing I'm doing here. Okay. Our last one, 125 should be over 1,000. 125 over 1,000, because it's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. I'm going to divide by, I think 125 can go in there. And it can 5 times. Divided by 125, and I would get 1 and 5. Now, you could have done this different ways. You could have divided by 25 and then divided again. Okay? I just did it the fastest way, the biggest way, so that I could get down, if I get down to 1, I know I'm done. So letter C is 1/5. If you have any questions, make sure you stop and ask your instructor at this point. Otherwise, we are going on to the next page. Pause if you need to catch up. We are going to look at the average length of the conch shell. Conch shell. Think about SpongeBob. Average length is 9.85 inches. Express that in a mixed number in simplest form. We did this on the other side over there where I showed you that 9 is your whole number and 85 hundredths. 85 went over 100, and then they just reduced it. Okay? So any number to the left of the decimal, let's look at this one. It takes approximately 4.65 quarts of milk to make a pound of cheese. That's a lot of milk. Express this amount as a mixed number in simplest form. Now, if you remember from conversion, 4.65, how many quarts to a gallon of milk? 4, right? So it takes just over a gallon of milk to make a pound of cheese. It's a lot of milk in a pound of cheese. So if we want to write this as a mixed number, our whole number is to the left, so that is 4. And then we have 65, and then if we think of our place value, tenths, hundredths, it would be 65 over 100. And then can we reduce that? Well, I know I can at least reduce it by 5. Maybe even, let's try 5 first. Let's see. By 5. Even if you need to, count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 would be 13 over 20. So our total answer over here is going to be 4 and 13 twentieths quarts. QT stands for quart. All right, I am going to take a pause here before we go on to the second part of this video. If you have any questions, stop now and let me know. Make it a great day.